details. Can you tell me a little bit about how your husband died?
Oh, Mr. Boston, I just can't bear to talk about it.
Yes, I understand. So,
First, there was the fire, and then and after the grape juice, well, Mr. Corliss wouldn't believe him, and then the paper boy wouldn't, and then up in the tree, well, oh, it was just too much. We finally found the number, and oh, the squirrel finally let go. Oh, I just can't bear to talk about it.
Philpott. Make a note of that. Right, Chief. Grape juice.
Mother, why don't you go help Granny in the kitchen?
Oh, all right, dear.
We'll answer all of Mr. Boston's questions.
Yes, yeah, I don't know if I can formulate a question with... Tell you what, why don't you just kind of sift through the entire scenario real slowly?
Well, maybe I can answer the question about the fire and the grape juice. About a month ago, we had a big problem at the office where Blackburn and I worked. The boss stormed in accusing everybody of being incompetent. He was so excited, he dropped his cigarette in the wastebasket and started a small fire. Well, Blackburn, he grabs the only thing available to put out that fire, which happened to be a glass of grape juice. Well, Blackburn doused the fire, but at the same time, he doused the boss. And needless to say, the boss was purple with rage. Get it? Purple with rage?
I got it! It wasn't that funny, Philpott. No, I got a fingerprint. It's right here. Philpott? Is it here too?
Yes, it is!
And here?
Oh my God, they're all over the place!
And right here. You're so good at this. Philpott, do you remember anything from Fingerprinting 101 about not putting your own finger on the glass?
That must be from Fingerprinting 102, Chief.
I haven't gotten that far yet. Never mind the fingerprints. Just make note of what Mr. Sugarman just said.
Right. Purple.
Believe it or not, folks, he's come a long way since I first hired him. Anyway, Mr. Sugarman, please continue.
Right. Well, with everybody laughing their heads off, the boss tried to save face by accusing Blackburn of dousing him deliberately. And then he accused Blackburn of being the cause of the problem and fired him on the spot.
Oh, Fraud dear, I didn't know you were here. I must make some more tea.
Never mind, Mother Mockerby. I had a late breakfast, and I don't want anything to drink.
Oh, well, if you don't like my tea, just say so. But I'll have you know, Fraud, my tea does not stink.
Granny, I'm sure Claude does like your tea. Why don't you go see if Mother's all right?
You're right, dear. She was up all night. I'll go check on her.
Mother's a very dear woman. It was Daddy's idea that she come live with us. He thought it would make life a little interesting.
Well, I can certainly see why. But now, back to our mystery. Did your father talk to any of you about the blue dog? Did he say where he got it, or how he considered it to be so valuable?
Well, nothing specific. He gave it to Mother, but he said it would be valuable and important for the whole family. After he was fired, he became very withdrawn and didn't talk to us very much.
I can't understand why. With all his money, he certainly didn't need the job, and he never did get along with old man Corliss very well.
So you're saying your father was rich, yet he worked a job he did not like?
Well, Daddy was born in Europe into a very wealthy family. When he came to America and met Mother, he told her his inheritance would keep him comfortable the rest of his life. Well, he was a very anxious person and had to stay busy. He seemed to enjoy the job he was doing, even with that irritable boss. But that's where he met Claude. And he introduced me to him, and we've been engaged now for 2 full years.
Well, you know, we don't want to rush into anything unless we're absolutely sure of it. But now that Daisy's rich, I'm sure she'll want to set a date so we can get our own place.
Oh, not just yet, Claude. This is not a good time to be talking about this. And Mother's just too terribly upset to have me leave her now.
Philpot, what exactly are you writing?
Just taking notes, Chief. Just like you always told me to.
Philpot, we're not interested. We're not interested in their love life.
Not interested in their love life.
Just keep looking for clues.
Okay, Chief. But I found something very suspicious looking.
Philpot can use as many clues as he can find. But don't
I
worry.
think the thief must have dropped this, making his escape.
Oh, Mr. Philpot, you just found my lost earring.
It's a mighty pretty earring, too. Miss Daisy.
I'm feeling a bit better now. Have you made any progress in finding the blue dog?
We're still gathering information, Mrs. Gorgon. We're going to need to know a little bit more about the last few weeks of his life and where he might have obtained such a valuable statue.
Poor Blackie. I just know he will never rest in peace until we find the blue dog.
Now, Doris, you know Blackbird is very happy knowing you have everything you need and will have no financial problems.
And how can you say that, Claude? Right now, we have to solve Mother's emotional problems. Poor Mother. Mr. Boston, what do we do now?
Well, I'm not really sure. What do we do now?
Well, we've solved Mother's emotional problems by talking about it, but we don't want to mention it to her too often. What happens? What happens now?
Tell us about what happened.
The paper boy and... No?
Oh,
Well, I can solve the mystery. But first, I am going to need a little bit more information about the paperboy and all that other stuff.
okay. Well, Father really wasn't feeling very well most days, and some days he became quite irritable. One day, he spoke harshly to the paperboy about not throwing the paper on the porch. Well, I guess this made the paperboy mad because we began to find the paper in a bush, in the flower bed, and eventually up a tree.
Philpot, start taking notes again.
Right, Chief. Mad.
Anyway, Father was just a very kind soul, and he didn't mean to speak harshly to the boy. So he decided to not complain and climb the tree and get the paper.
Oh, I begged him not to go up there. How I wish I had never let him climb that tree.
Mother, don't blame yourself. If it wasn't in the tree, it would have been somewhere else. Anyway, Daddy did get the paper, but he got his foot caught in a crotch between 2 branches on the way down. We told him to stay calm and that we would get some help to get him
I
unstuck.
arrived about that time. I went to get a ladder and would have gotten him down very easily if it hadn't been for
That
the...
squirrel! Oh, that monstrous creature! They look all cute and harmless, but they're really evil animals just waiting to sink their fangs into helpless people.
Maybe he thought your husband looked like some kind of nut.
Philpot. Tell you what. Take this pencil, take the other pencil, stick one in each ear, and go play in the courtroom.
Oh, Mr. Boston, it's all right. Maybe we all ought to lighten up just a little bit. What's done is done, and we cannot change that.
I thought the gentlemen might like some cookies with their tea. Maybe Frog would even like one if it smells all right to him.
Oh, I love your cookies, Mother Lockerbie. The ones that people bring to the office are awful.
Well, I suppose I could make you some, but really, we're all out of syrup.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Markerby. That tea just hit the spot.
Oh, you know you could have let it cool down first.
I should have known better. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yes, up the tree.
Oh, well, you know by now that the squirrel bit Daddy. I don't think it meant to. It was just attracted to the paper, and Daddy was trying to get it away from the
Oh,
paper.
yes, it meant to, all right. It was nothing but a mean-tempered furball from hell.
Well, it bit Daddy on the finger, and I think he just panicked. He wasn't feeling well to begin with, and I think it just sent him over the edge. He stopped moving, and
I
then...
called 911 immediately, and by the time they got him down, it was too late.
Oh, just stop it. Stop it. I don't want to hear any more about this. It's just too horrible. I just want my blue dog back. I just want my blue dog.
First, dear, after the tea and cookies, I don't think the gentleman would like eggnog.
I would, Mrs. Markerby. I would.
Later, Philpot. Mrs. Gorgon is right. It's time to start looking for the blue dog. Were there any signs of a break-in? Was any furniture moved? Or was any other items taken besides the blue dog?
No, no, and no. It just vanished into thin air.
Maybe we should put out an APB.
Tell you what, Philpot. Go do it.
Right, Chief. What's an APB?
I guess it's another Philpot blunder. That's okay. We're not the police, Philpot. Tell you what you can do. You can go out and check underneath all the windows for footprints and see if you can find any clues that someone may have been casing the house.
Right, Chief. Get right on it.
See here, Boston, do you really know what you're doing?
Mr. Sugarman, how much can you tell me about the blue dog?
Only what everyone else knows. It was a valuable statue given to Doris by her husband.
And maybe you thought it was valuable enough to add to your collection.
Mr. Boston, surely you're not accusing Claude of taking the blue dog?
A detective has to consider every angle, Daisy.
Well, then maybe you would consider me a suspect as well.
Not at all. I knew from the moment I set my eyes on you that you are an honest and honorable woman.
Of course she is. And so is Claude.
Wait a minute, what's that supposed to mean?
That's probably Philpot saying you can't find the outside.
Oh, hello, I'm sorry. You must have the wrong house.
Isn't this the Gorgon Hammersfield home?
Well, yes, but,
Oh, I just had to come. I